I still think it was really funny. They were like, "Do you watch Pokemon?" And you're like, "What, Pokemon?" And like, and it was funny. Like when they asked, "Do you watch Pokemon?" I was like, "Why would he say Pokemon?" Like, it's a weird thing. And so I looked at it, and then it said Pokemon, and I'm like, "Pokemon's a streamer, bruh.
I know nothing.
You just lost all your street cred with this kid."
I still don't. The streaming fad still kind of is. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Why?
I don't understand. Like I understand why it caught on, but I also at the same time I don't really.
Well, go ahead and
Why?
explain to me why you
Yeah,
don't.
explain. I want to know. I want to know your thought
Oh,
process.
just because I understand like Jacksepticeye, like the OG game YouTube gamers, but they would also like edit their content and add like jokes and like kind of not do it off the fly. And then it was fun when they would do it off the fly sometimes, but it like I just forgot I didn't have a parachute in this game. But then when you watch them do it live, like it's kind of fun, but I'd rather just be playing the game myself, you know. Unless it's like the pro,
I actually
leagues.
was the same way you are when it came to that kind of stuff because I didn't understand it. But think of it kind of like playing like sports, or like football or basketball or anything. Like
Yeah. Well, that's why I said if they were like pro at it, then it kind of makes sense. Kind of like when you watch like the League World Series or whatever. But when it's like just an average Joe Schmo doing it, like unless they're like they have comedy gold like oozing out of their like pores, then I don't fully understand it. You know?
Oh, there he is. Okay. I mean, I guess I do find enjoyment from watching other people play, especially if it's games I don't play. Like I just like it's nice to see like how it works, especially if they're not like pro. Just because then I know like if like people who aren't pros can't play this game, or if like you need to be like the best of the best in order to actually like enjoy this game.
Yeah, but I mean, why not just like upload it to YouTube? Like I don't understand the added bonus
I
of
upload it
watching
to
it
YouTube.
live.
After I'm done streaming it, I upload my stuff to YouTube.
You talk. It's because you're talking to the person.
That is also. I like it. I like streamers who talk back. I can't watch streamers who don't talk to the people who are watching.
Almost all of them are like, all the good ones are just there to have a conversation with you, basically.
Yeah.
While playing.
And so that's part of the reason why I like streaming, especially if I became famous, where like I'd actually have people I can talk to, and then I can play it by myself. Because right now I can only play games by myself for a short time, and then I stop because it gets boring.
Oh, I game with you guys, and then if I need other social interaction, I just talk to my coworkers or friends.
Well, that's you.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say, is like I don't really understand it, because other people have friends and social interactions. I guess unless you don't have friends, and then you could watch streamers.
I guess I don't have friends.
Imagine having friends that are awake at 3 a.m. even when you're tired and don't care. But they also have a bunch of friends that are awake at 3 a.m. And so you get to just chill and hang out and listen to them while they're having a fun time. And it doesn't put any pressure on you.
Then I just watch a YouTube video, and it's like a slightly more scripted. They like edit it so it's not like just nonsense, unless you just want like background noise.
No one wants, or how do I say this? People would just watch TV if they want scripts.
Yeah, I know, but I mean like, because Jacksepticeye and Mark and all those other big YouTube gamers, they don't use the script, but they like edit out stuff that like is just them doing something monotonous, or like when they're not really talking, or if it's like an uninteresting part of a game, or like when they were doing Get Over It, when they'd like edit out them like dying and getting back to that point again.
Yeah, well, streamers will do that too if they're uploading videos.
Yeah, but that's like that's not like streaming. That's like after streaming, you know.
Yeah, so you could do that, but some people want to go along and watch them and enjoy the feeling of
of having
earning,
friends.
yeah. How do I say this?
It just boils down to being lonely and wanting social interaction.
Not everyone spends every waking moment alive with their girlfriend, do you?
Oh, it's not even with their significant other. Like, even I have other friends.
Well, I'm glad you do. There are those of us who don't really have friends and don't really want friends.
I don't know.
And most of our friends go to, like I said, most of our friends go to bed, and so like I'll watch it when I'm doing nothing. I'll watch it when I'm like getting ready to go to bed and just chilling.
Well, what's the difference between watching it live and then watching a video of like a recorded stream or a recorded game?
Because you don't have to pay attention. You don't have to pay attention. And you don't have to pay
attention to either of them, though.
Yeah, but then you feel like you miss stuff if you're watching a video that's where everything is crammed into it.
Are you sure? Because you can watch like Jack and Mark do stuff.
You can watch
like,
it, yeah.
Get that same blow background.
I watch all of my YouTubers stream, and I watch most of my streamers on YouTube.
I watch some streamers on YouTube. But most of the reason why I watch Twitch over YouTube is at least when it comes to this kind of stuff, is because of the fact that I want to be able to be talking to someone while I'm watching a game. Like I find that fun. It's enjoyable.
I think that is most people's things. I'm a lurker. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I understand if you're getting like some weird social, not weird, but I mean if you could like need social validation, and so you get it through like that kind of interaction. But like past that, I can't really see.
It's just having fun. It's having fun with people that actually like want to do what you want to do at a certain time. They oftentimes will play with their subscribers or their followers.
Yeah, the streamer I watch most of the time will play with their followers.
But you have input on these people that you watch. It's like getting to hang out with.
Also, sometimes I help them.
With actors.
I help them play the game. Like I'll remember a code, and then sometimes they'll be like, "Crap, I forgot the code," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, here it is."
Yeah, it's if you wanted to talk to The Rock while he's playing a video game or something like that. You're just like, oh hell yeah, and I'll talk to him, chat him up.
Well, I feel like that's about as since you're going to like a panel at Comic-Con, and there's like actors and actors. Like, yes, you're having a conversation, but there's like 100 billion people there. So the odds of you getting your like question heard is like a 1 out of like 1,000 or 2,000.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess if there's a question you really want to know, then it's cool. But for the most part, I just don't really understand.
Do you go to panels at Comic-Con?
The NASA ones, but I don't ask questions.
Well,
I'm just there to hear their presentation.
Then you're like me.
But I don't go specifically for, like, I don't go to Comic-Con for the panels. I do that because it's like costumes and merch.
Okay. Well, what if 1,000 of the people you're talking to are having their own conversations while you're all watching some person's screen? And so you're just hanging out as a community.
I don't know, I guess... I don't know, it's weird to me to interact with people online that you don't know super well, and that you know they're never really gonna get to know you super well. And that you're just another face in a million. And so, like, to them, they're not gonna remember you, and you're gonna remember them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. It's
kills before it though.
So yeah, I mean, but you like watching Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and all those guys because they do the same. I mean, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you need to watch it live. Like, what the difference between watching it there and watching it live?
More content.
I mean, when Felix used to upload and like leave his videos unedited, you could call that more content, but that doesn't mean it's better content.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to be better. Who said it had to be better? It just is more content.
Okay.
Sometimes you're looking for more content.
I guess.
Sometimes the people that you form... How do I say this? You're acting as though you see what you're doing, all right? When movies and TV
I feel
came around,
no need
hang on.
to be a part of a community or interact with the community.
That's fine. But what I'm saying, what you're doing is, when TV and movies came around, actors and actresses became big, right? And people felt like they were like too far out and couldn't connect to them. And then YouTube happened, and you were like, oh my gosh, I feel like these people are actually like they're more real. They're more understanding. And then streaming happened, where you actually like you're dealing with real people.
Do you prefer plays or movies?
Movies.
Why do you prefer movies over plays? Because they're in person with them when they're in a play, and their acting is just as good, and you're closer, and you're with other people who appreciate it.
Because I get to sit at home.
But why not? If you want that part of the community,
I get to sit at home.
So if they live streamed movies, would you watch movies on live stream as opposed to just watching them in your own time?
Well, actually,
they do have watch parties.
Plays into movies, so that way, like.
Yeah, wait, hang on. No, you do know that there are these things called watch parties now, where people go on Twitch and they will watch movies together.
Jesus Christ, people need... Okay, I feel like so many people are lacking in, like, people interactions and social, like, interactions. And they're so starved and deprived that, like, we truly are in a digital age, and so they're trying to find ways to, like, supplement that digitally.
Yeah, that's essentially it. That's a good way to say
it. And I would never have felt the need to be a part of a community or any sort of movement.
Well, I think
and so I don't understand wanting to be near somebody. Like, I don't understand how you get fulfillment. I understand if it's fun, like, connecting with like-minded people, but you could do that in ways or in real life without having to do it live right then and there.
I literally was inside of a man, shot him, and it missed because this gun is apparently shit.
I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird.
Well, that's it. That's just it. You don't understand it. I mean, I'm sure you don't quite understand why girls like going shopping all the time and having fun at the mall.
I mean, do you enjoy it? We all enjoy impulse buys.
I was shooting at the person.
No,
I'm saying,
I didn't kill you. I'm saying that
I thought I killed you.
People enjoy different things, and I think you're trying to find, like, it sounds like you're being derogatory with this. You're like, I don't understand why these people could do something like this. That's so stupid. Whereas, you know, they're just like enjoying different things.
Well, I do think it's a little silly.
Well, there you go. You're just being derogatory over something that you don't agree with, even though it's just how people have fun. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
All right. Yeah, sure.
I like streaming and watching people stream.
So streaming. Okay, so what it boils down to is that streaming is for the socially awkward and inept who can't connect in person, so they connect digitally.
Yes.
Okay.
Not socially awkward or inept.
But also, that's just being an asshole about it. But yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how you managed to do that. You managed to say every word demeaningly right then. That really, okay, I mean, Jesus, bro.
I'm not socially awkward or inept, though, and I like watching streaming and streaming.
Why'd you have to, why? Jeez.
People are weird, dumb creatures, and they have dumb desires to be part of groups.
Yeah, and you have a dumb desire to be with your girlfriend 24/7. So what's your point?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is socially kind of normal. And streaming is becoming more socially normal.
Look,
where like back in the 90s they would make fun of people.
All these people have lives. All of these people go out, they have fun, but they come home and they don't want to watch some stupid asshole on a TV, you know, on a what do you call those things? On a soap opera or whatever you fucking call the late night shows and stuff. They want to watch like idiots like that. So you know what they do? They find the exact content they want to watch. They don't want to. Yeah. They know they're not very, very good at COD, so they watch someone who is very good at COD.
Yeah, and I'm trying to say is like, why not just watch that on YouTube as opposed to watching it live? Like, I don't understand what the live aspect adds, other than like being able to interact.
Because you build
like,
a relationship when you watch something. Why do you?
You also get that social interaction from like
let me ask you
normal.
this.
Do you ever
What do you
watch
think of
Markiplier and
follow
then live?
celebrities
No.
and stuff? Like it's kind of.
I have never had a
kind of the
desire
same
to
mindset.
watch like I've never watched Marker Jack live or Felix live, just because like I could just watch it later if I really wanted to, because I know they're gonna record it and like I don't have a desire to see it as it's happening.
That's fair enough, and I do that
It's like
as well.
It's kind of like the thing of like it's almost like a fear of being left out is like what you're making it to sound like now. Like you're gonna miss something if you're not there right when it's happening. Which, to be fair, I did that with the PlayStation launch. Because I was like, I really want to know like information as soon as it's available. But like a lot of streamers, it's not like they're giving information; it's just them like dicking around for a little while. And it makes sense with smaller streamers when you can interact directly with them. But for somebody like Pokimane or like,
but would you rather watch a football game live, or would you rather just watch the highlights later?
I mean, if I'm watching it with friends at their house, I'd watch it live. But I mean, if it's not a game I really care about. Because I'm bonding with people I know and building a like relationship in person.
Okay, well, I find that very odd. I hate watching things with other people because you're just watching it. You're both devoting your attention and energy to the same thing. You might as well just do it by yourself.
Then if that's happening on Twitch, you defend it. You're like arguing against yourself now.
No. I'm saying that everyone has their own preferences. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're derogatory preferences or bad preferences. I think you're the one who's putting the. I don't understand how these people could be so dumb on it. Okay,
well, it used to be weird to be like you used to, if you wanted social interactions, you'd just go like if you wanted to play Magic people, you'd go to a Magic store.
At 1 in the morning?
Or you make friends that are gonna be playing, like want to play at 1 in the morning.
What if you can't? This allows you to do it with people that are in a different time zone, so that
then you download MTG Arena and play online against people in a different time zone. I wouldn't watch somebody else play Magic and like do something and then if I wanted to watch somebody else play Magic, I'd go on YouTube and find like a fully edited video. I'm not trying to.
I'm very confused as to what you're trying to do. You sound like you're just like you're not making sense, because you agree that like all you're saying is that because these people are doing it online instead of in person, they're somehow socially inept.
Well, I mean, are you ever going to interact with those people in real life? Would they know you, and would you be able to hold a conversation with these people as well?
I mean, are you ever going to meet a celebrity in real life?
No, but I don't have a desire to interact with them, and so I don't watch them live or watch streams and try and have conversations.
Do interact with celebrities are socially inept?
I mean, have you been to Comic-Con and seen some of the people that ask them questions?
Yeah, a lot of those people are socially inept, and a lot of people who watch streamers are socially inept.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to say, like, it's because like what Phil does is Phil like subs to Chloe and watches Chloe nonstop, and like, Chloe's a small enough streamer that like he kind of has over time become her friend, and that makes sense when it's like a smaller streamer. But for somebody like Pokimane, like why not just watch her videos when she uploads them later, and they're like she like cuts out the filler, and then if you want to watch the full ones, I'm sure that you can just go on Twitch and watch the full. But like watching it live, like. It's like a 1 in a million chance she'll like have a conversation with you or like interact with you or remember you, and other people in the stream are probably in the same boat as you. And so I mean, like, the only reason watching her live is because like you feel like you're a part of something and getting some sort of social interaction out of it. And I'm trying to say there's not really anything there. It's like hollow.
Well, how do I say this?
It's like nothing more. It's kind of like a feeling. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to say it's like not a real social interaction. It's like unless it's like a really small local streamer, like with Jeremy and that other guy. Like that was actually like I can understand it in that sense. But when when it comes to like bigger
the guy who was on my thing is what I do with the people that I actually watch is like I talk with them and they talk back with me. And I do get, like, I don't understand, for me personally, watching a stream where they don't actually interact, because that's not enjoyable for me. But, like, that's kind of the reason why I do it the way that I do it, is because of the fact that this is fun.
I'd say if they have, like, 100 people, and then, like, maybe 100 people viewing, or, like, less, then they're able to, like, see your comments and possibly interact. But once it gets to a point where like you're just like a drop in the ocean, and so like it's like a hollow, like does that kind of make sense? Like it's like a hollow, empty, like it's gonna that's when I can't understand it. Is when it gets to like a larger scale, like Pokimane, or like or like Ninja. Like unless they're MLG Pro like Ninja, if they're just like some person who's like average and a little weird, and there's like a couple hundred or 1,000 people watching them, like it's one thing to be a part of community, but like what are you getting from watching it live at that point?
Okay, I understand, and I sort of agree with the bigger ones, because there isn't really that interaction, and it's the reason why I don't watch the bigger ones is because of the fact that I don't have that interaction that I have with the smaller streamers.
And I also agree that I came across as harsh as being like socially awkward and socially inept. But like when it comes to the really, really big ones, and you're never going to interact, if you're watching them because you like think they might, then I would consider that pretty like.
Okay, but okay, let me take it in a different direction now. What about the people who have been with the bigger streamers from the beginning and like still talk like, and even though the bigger streamer doesn't communicate with them directly as much as they used to, they've been with them since the beginning, and so they feel like they're part of that community.
Well, I mean, if they still have so Chloe's gotten a lot bigger with time, and like Chloe still interacts with some of the same people even though there's new ones, and she doesn't always interact with everybody, but like she'll interact with the community. And even like the bigger ones, like you see with like Bob and Wade and Mark and Jack, like the buddies that were guest appearances and they kind of like gamed and did have a relationship with, like they do kind of keep with them, And so I feel like the like early on people would grow with the channel, and at that point they're just basically YouTubers, and so those people it makes sense to like interact with. And then new people, it like, yeah, you're just like a voice in the wind.
All right, how do I say this? I think you're right, but you're taking it to you're generalizing. There are a lot of people who are severely like they're like I don't understand how like especially 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds are kind of insane in this kind of thing because that's how they grew up.
I know, but it's going more and more in this direction. This is becoming like more popular.
Hold on. Let me finish my goddamn statement. You guys got to talk for like 20 minutes. The thing is that like. Because there are people that feel like Phil who like think they have a chance and are like the biggest simps I've ever heard of in my life. But there are people like me. I'm just going to go with my personal thing. I like watching these people. I did not watch any of these people on Twitch first. I watched them on YouTube first. I then wanted to watch more of their content. I found out they were doing it live. I then wanted to, as I watched them live, I found that one, I could do other things while watching them live. They do not put they have so much content that's out there that they can't switch it into videos often, so a lot of it gets left out. And so if you're just chilling with them and then you see something funny, you saw something funny. That's it. That's all that is. But it gives you like.
So if I start a live stream of me just walking around my house living life, people would watch that.
Right, if you're a girl, but. I am saying, like, because you got to realize, for me, you guys are, like, my only friends that I really care to like, experiment with. I don't go out of my way to play with random people. And aside from church people who all have, like, normal jobs and, like, go to bed at 8, like, if I'm, like, sitting here at 12 and you guys are both in bed, and I'm like, well, YouTube doesn't really have anything that I want to do on it. Oh, look, one of my guys is streaming. Then I can just, like, watch until I go to bed. And because it's a stream, I don't feel guilty about like falling asleep and missing anything because I'm not going to miss anything. Whereas like videos, if you're watching something and you fall asleep, you're probably just going to want to watch it again or something stupid like that. But it's not necessarily a. It's one of those things where like it's just an ease of access kind of thing, you know.
We've never had if they're not going to record their streams, would it just make more sense to watch a video when you fall asleep? Then you can go back on it?
No. Not to me. To me, I'd rather not watch the video on it. I'd rather just watch them play it live. And then fall asleep. And who cares if I, like, miss something? Because half the time I'm not missing anything. It's a feeling of... Like I said, I'm not.
It's like a hollow.
Hang on.
It's hollow, is what it is.
all right, how do I say this?
You kind of sound like what when like TV first came out, and like all the criticism that was around watching televisions. Like it was people were saying that it takes away from like social norms and some other stuff that you can get in other places. But like it was
Which it is in an essence. It's a take and give. I mean, you're always gonna like anytime you have the ease of access, you're gonna lose those things.
Let's say me and you like do. Let's say we really like playing Magic. Are you gonna watch streamers who play Magic?
I've actually was thinking about.
I have seen streamers that play Magic.
I mean, would you go out of your way? Would it give you the same fulfillment as us playing Magic together?
No, but it would suffice. That's a weird way of saying it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's a weird, hollow, like empty.
Why do you spend 24/7 with your girlfriend? Why do you want to?
You know, I've seen Jordan 2 times this week.
Why do you want to? Why do you call her every night?
Because
it's not a bad thing to call her. It's not a bad thing to call her, is it? You want to hang out with her.
You get mad.
You want to see her. Well, I mean, all right, I'm jealous, but that's it.
And it's a normal human interaction. Like I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm leaving the call to like.
But that's what you do.
I'm leaving the call to Skype this guy I met yesterday in a chat room. Like I'm not gonna do that.
No, and we don't do that either.
Or I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm leaving to go like watch 10 people have a casual conversation and not include me.
No. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying you crave interaction with someone. It happens to be you, Jordan. All right.
In person, though.
I crave interaction with you. I don't get it. So what do I do?
We plan a time to hang out.
Yeah, but what do I do in the meantime?
Same thing we all do in the meantime, like work, play, and interact with other people that we have to.
No, I actually watch streamers and YouTube 90% of the time. YouTube streamers and anime nowadays.
It'd be, you know, at work, because like imagine at work, like, because this has happened to me before, and I'm sure we've all been in this place where like when you're at work and there's like a group of people having a conversation, and you like walk up and they're like not including you, and like you can clearly tell like it's not like they don't plan on including you, and it's like clearly between two friends. I'm not gonna stand there and like keep being weird. I'm probably gonna be like, all right, well, this is clearly like not a place for me. I might as well go somewhere else. I'm not gonna stand there just because I need to be around people. I'm gonna go find something else and do something else that I actually like. Even if I wanted to hang out with people and talk with people, if they're clearly like doing their own thing, I'm not gonna just stand there and be weird and call that hanging out. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll go kill time and come back later, and when they can interact with me. Or like
you do know that they are doing it for the people. That's the thing. They're acting at this point in time.
But when they get to the bigger size, they're not going to interact with people.
No, they're acting for them. They are doing the same thing that a person at a play would do. They are acting for these people. It's
so
not like
it's
you're
not
watching
real.
Hang on, no.
So
you watch people have
human,
conversation. Right? No, it's not supposed to be. When did I ever say it was?
So like what? Like, but you're trying to say that that's part of why you do it live, is so you can be part of a community and get that experience and that interaction.
That's partially it. But it's
like if they're not including you, then how are you getting any sort of interaction?
Plays don't include you either.
But it's still entertainment, even though it's not including you. I mean, same with TV and movies. Like, they're not including you, but you still feel a part. Like, you get immersed in it and you enjoy it. Like, that's part of the entertainment part of it. So, like, part of the reason why streaming is fun, especially like for me and stuff, is because you get the entertainment aspect of it, which is mindless and it doesn't need to be anything. And then you also get the part where you get to be a part of a little bit of it. Like, whether it's a huge part or a small part, you still get to be a part of it, you know?
At that point, isn't it just kind of fun noise that gives you a little bit of validation there?
Okay.
Yeah, but is there really something wrong with that? Like...
No, I mean, I guess there's not.
I mean, there's always going to be a degradation, I think it's sort of, in human social interaction when new medias pop up. I mean, shoot, Twitter has destroyed every possible thing with human interaction. That's why people are so vile towards each other all the time. It's because you can send a tweet out, be anonymous, and that's that. You know, you don't have to deal with the repercussions of calling someone a Nazi or calling them a fag or something like that, or saying that they should just go kill themselves. You don't have to deal with those repercussions. You just say them and you're done. And so, like, Twitter is a terrible thing, but it's also really useful, and people use it all the time because it's a media that you can put on your phone that allows you to connect to people or have fun.
We actually covered in social
people.
psych that more and more with social media. When I was in like college, I actually talked about this. It's creating this mentality of people wanting to speak but not wanting to listen. Like they want to be heard, but they're not willing to see what other people have to say. So they're basically like talking out into the void and like thinking that there's people listening or paying attention, when in actuality it's just to stroke their own ego. And then the only time other people do comment is if something they say like is abrasive toward the other person's beliefs or ideals. And so it's like less and less about actual communication and more and more about validation. Does that make sense? And I don't think that's a healthy thing. And so that's what I'm saying is like I feel like Twitch, it's not. I feel like streaming isn't necessarily in that same sense or evil inherently. I'm just saying like if you can go hang out with friends or do these things normally, why not do that? Or if you do want it for the content, why not just watch it later? Unless it's like a smaller streamer where you can like actually interact with them. Like I don't see the point in like watching it.
Well, I mean, don't I hang out with you guys normally?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm doing what you said. The only difference is sometimes you're not there, sometimes I'm bored, I just want to watch something. And I go on Twitch and I'm like, oh, there's someone doing something that I couldn't really care less about. I'm just sitting here enjoying myself.
Isn't it just noise at that point and less entertainment?
Sure. But it's live noise.
I suppose the old noise. Open a window. Get lots of live noise out. You're all the fun crackheads outside.
I don't live where you live.
Yeah. So I mean, I could do that, and then it'd be real life live entertainment. And I don't have a digital screen, just the Windows screen.
I didn't say that. I mean, I'm saying that you could do that. The only difference is that if you don't really feel like you want to listen to crackheads 24/7, you might not want to do that, would you?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to listen to like some bozo on his couch who's like average at Call of Duty either.
That's true. You find the best of the best. You either find the funny people or you find the best people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say this entire time, and you've been disagreeing with me.
Pokemon is for simps, by the way. Or Pokemon. Pokemon's a girl who has a high voice and is hot. But like, I'm really confused. You either find a community, or you find someone who's really good at the game, or who's really funny.
Or who's
and you haven't been saying that because I said Markiplier and all them stream as well, and you're like, yeah, but I would rather watch the videos, and I'm like, that's fine, but there is a certain satisfaction of doing something live with someone else. It's all in your head per se, because but like there is a satisfaction about someone. There's camaraderie in the fact that you are both interested in the same thing. You're both like alive at the same point in time. I know that sounds weird, but I mean. It's all in the psyche, yeah, but it depends on how I say this. Like, I don't think it's worth bad. Like, I don't think it's bad per se. I think that you think that it's like the way that you sound. It sounds like it's bad.
I think because I feel like you could get the same thing from either interacting with real people or watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, but you don't always have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah,
this provides you with ease of access.
At 3
That's
o'clock
the
in the
only
morning,
difference.
which Ed has brought up, I have none of my friends are going to be awake. I can't talk with my friends. I can't share memes or stuff with my friends and have them give, like a response right then and there. Like I can't play games with my friends. Like everyone that I know at 3 o'clock in the morning is asleep. But streamers, especially the ones that I watch at 3 o'clock in the morning, are still playing. They're still like having fun. Some of them will play games with me if I played games that they play. I don't always play the games that they play. And then like it gives me some like a little bit of entertainment, and entertainment doesn't have to
I mean,
have like a meaning to it either. Like you can just enjoy something for the sake of enjoyment.
I mean, would you rather like would you rather just like listen to your girlfriend like send a voicemail to you, or would you rather talk to her on the phone?
That's
And yes, I
direct
know that you're
interaction.
having yes.
I'm not
That's
gonna
the
listen
thing.
to Jordan have a conversation with someone else. That'd be weird.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
that's
be
the
like,
thing
man, I
about
just really want to hear
Live
Jordan
too, is
talk
that
to somebody.
you can have a conversation with them.
Wait,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? You listen to Markiplier have a conversation with other people. Well,
He's just dicking around usually.
So, what do you mean? He's still having
Why
a
would I need
conversation
to? I
with other
don't
people.
need to watch it live. Movies are conversation with other people. I mean, unless there's if Jordan's like talking about what you made for lunch with some other random person, I'm not gonna care. So like with Markiplier, and what I'm trying to say is on those YouTube videos, they can edit out the sections where they're talking about what they had for lunch and leave like the actual content. Whereas when you watch the streamer, you get like what they had for lunch and a whole bunch of other stuff that you're like, I couldn't care less about this unless you're like socially
Sometimes,
deprived and you
yeah,
need
but
like
most of the time you're
that
doing
sort of.
something else as well. And so, like when they're talking about what they had for lunch, you like go and you make lunch or something like that. You're like, oh my
Why
god, I
not
haven't had
play
lunch yet.
music in the background at that point? Or
Because
why
I'd
not
rather
turn
listen
on
to
another
someone talk.
YouTube video?
Do you like? Hang on. Do you like ASMR? This is a weird thing.
No. Why?
Then, do you think that people who like ASMR are somehow bad or dumb?
I think they're weird.
Okay, well then you're just an asshole then. So, I mean that's really the only thing I can pull from this. You're basically just saying anything that people like that I don't like doesn't deserve validation. Like, I mean that's literally what it sounds like. So unless you can tell me otherwise, I mean, what do you like? What do you want from me? You know, you literally are. I mean, it's really kind of just being mean. You're just saying, well, you know, you don't like what I like.
If someone's a loser, I'll call them a loser, okay? And that's what I'm
Okay.
doing. I'm calling people who like Twitch streamers that are large-scale losers. And I'm saying that they're socially awkward, and I stand by it. Because
Okay.
normal people get their validation and their social interaction in daily life. And if
Okay.
they aren't able to, then they have, like, Skype calls, or phone calls, or play games with their friends. They don't need to watch somebody and pretend they're part of a community that doesn't care about them.
Okay.
I
Well,
said what I said. I was trying to be nice about it, but you want me to be a jerk, I'll be a jerk.
you weren't ever trying to be nice about it. You literally called me a loser from the beginning. Because I'm the person who likes that stuff, and you already knew that I like that stuff. You already knew. You knew a long time ago that I watch streamers and watch YouTube videos, and like even tried to get into it. So I mean, I don't know what you're trying to like.
I was trying to have you guys
that's it.
convince me as to what the like point, and I did backtrack on like the smaller
There is
ones.
no
like, I
there is no
understand, like,
point.
No, I've tried to.
Daniel did backtrack on the smaller. We did.
But there is no point.
That's
I
why-
want to do it because you guys are fucking asleep. I don't want to make new friends because I don't like taking the time to make new friends. I can make new friends by listening to extroverts online who are more than happy to talk about themselves and play games and stuff. And I get my daily social interactions from those. If I don't get it from from you guys or from people at church. That's literally it. That's it right there.
Because I was willing
That's
to
the main
backtrack
thing.
on smaller streamers.
No,
and
I don't.
stuff,
I don't
and,
watch
like,
smaller
understand.
streamers though. I watch large streamers. The people I watch get 80,000 views at a time, half the time. I watch large
I
streamers.
can't do any convincing for the bigger ones because of the fact that I don't watch bigger ones, and so I have no argument or defense for or against them. I have nothing against people who watch the bigger ones. I have nothing against the bigger ones themselves. But I personally I can't I can't defend or argue for or against something that I don't care for or have an opinion on.
because I was trying to hear an argument for streaming. In the small ones, I like backtrack on it.
There isn't an argument for it. That's the thing.
Then you can say it. Then I can continue to not understand it and judge people who like it.
I told you you can.
Alright, then don't call me a jerk, dude.
Well, I mean, okay, fine. You're not a jerk. But, I mean, or, hey, all I'm saying is you said it very mean. You literally called me, you said I have a psych issue. Do I have a psych issue? Maybe, okay. Maybe I am just depressed and lonely all the time.
No. I
need
didn't say you had a psych issue.
I'm sorry.
When I brought up psychology,
yeah, but I'm one of those fucking people.
I brought it up.
I don't think you realize I am what you're talking about. You do know how many people I watch stream, right?
Oh no, I was talking about the
you do know how many people I watch YouTube videos on. You do know how often I do this. You know how often, like, and I don't ever talk to people. I hate talking to people on streams. I just like listening to other people talk. It gives me a validation. You do know that when I was in college, I used to go to, I used to spend hours at dining halls just listening to people walk around and do their normal lives because I didn't have anything better to do, so I just do it. And I do my homework with that. I would just sit there and listen to people. That's it. Like, and so that's it right there. That's how I got my validation. That's how I got my human interaction. And so there you go. That's it. So either you are saying that I have a psychological problem, or you're not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you were an enemy because I thought I was by myself.
When I brought up psychology, you know, I'm talking about social media, right?
Social media is the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Yeah,
because there's been like studies basically on how like social media is like killing this generation and then like negative effects it's having on like human interaction and what it is to be human. And like we're just getting more and more depressed because people are connecting less and less in real life. And I think Twitch is just like it's like combining YouTube and like the toxic parts of social media when it gets to those large scales.
I think that everything's fine in moderation. If it were my life, I would understand your point of view. If I literally didn't, you do, like, because I hang out with you guys a lot, and I hang out with church people a lot. I have other things that make my life worthwhile. And so that's that. Like, can I turn off a stream? Like, I'll always turn off a stream or stop watching a YouTube video or whatever if I'm hanging out with friends. Or if I want to go somewhere and do something, you know. But when there's not anything there, then why do you think it's a bad thing for me to enjoy human interaction just by watching it on a screen?
Because I feel like it's filling a void with something that's hollow, and I don't think it's wrong because everybody can do what they want, but that's what it is.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think I have a void? I
think everybody longs for social interaction and human contact in some
You know
way
what?
or
Actually, I think I do also have a void that I feel I need to fill because I literally don't have a girlfriend, and also.
But you don't feel that with a girlfriend, is what I'm trying to say. It's like if I wasn't with Jordan, I wouldn't be watching streamers still. Like, I'd be hanging out with you, or I'd be hanging out with my friends at work. Like, I'd get my social interaction in other ways. And
yeah,
if I wanted to watch...
Ed does... Both Ed and I do the other things. It's not like we don't... We completely leave out those things. It's just that we also like having other stuff to do. Like, we also like watching streamers.
Yeah, but, like, your biggest argument for was that you got that kind of, like, community and that interaction.
Yeah, you do. You get it in addition to everything else.
Unless it's a really big streamer, then you don't really get it. It's like even more empty than normal social media. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Maybe, like I said, I could very well just be insane and also.
No, because literally everybody does
depressed.
have a void, and like does long for social interaction. People strive for it, like need it, because like that's why if you leave a baby alone for too long, sometimes they just die. Because of that. And so, like, I understand needing it, but I also think it's, like, that same level of toxicity as, like, social media. And so unless you're, like, having a direct, like, conversation, it's basically like the people who... like, now we're just back It's basically just like talking to like shouting something like a weird question at your like idol, and then like, but you're like completely invisible to them, and like,
Okay.
it's weird to me.
Well, alright. Well, I guess that's just that then. I'm not. I really don't feel like I.
Are you gonna yell stuff at your favorite football players, like when they walk past onto the field? And not just normal things. Are you gonna yell and like try and say like ask an actual question and be like, "What's your favorite color?" and like, or are you just gonna be like, "I'm here to enjoy watching this right now"?
Yeah, but that's a whole different like.
No, there are people that do that all the time.
Actually, yeah, you are. Ed is correct.
And
I was gonna say,
are you
it's a
are
little
you
different,
confused? Are you like, because you know they're not gonna get an answer? Do they know they're not gonna get an answer?
Sometimes they do, but I mean.
And if they think they're gonna get
guess-
an answer, do you think they're normal?
Do you think I actually think I'm gonna win the lottery ever?
No, but it would be nice.
Okay. It would be nice. You don't buy tickets,
I do not.
so that's it. I mean, I'm an idiot for buying tickets. You know why I buy tickets?
because it's fun.
Because for like a few hours a day, I think to myself, man, wouldn't it be nice if I had money? And that gives me a pretend avenue of saying, yeah, it could happen. It's not impossible. And so I don't feel as depressed, and that's why I buy them. Is it smart? No. Everyone in the world tells you not to buy lottery tickets because you're wasting and throwing away your money. And how much money have I thrown away? I don't know. Probably like maybe $200 since I could buy lottery tickets. So, is it wrong? Yeah, maybe. Is it what gets me through the day? Sure. Should I probably work on myself and getting better? Yeah. But when you're depressed, you don't think that way. I'm less defending it and more just saying you're kind of right in the fact that it's not exactly the most healthy thing in the world.
Because the whole conversation started with me on the negative, and
I just felt like
you guys were able to convince me.
I just felt
But,
like you were talking to me like you were saying it's like walking to someone who has gender dysphoria and saying, you do know you're mentally ill, right? That's what a lot of people do, right? A lot of people who talk about like Christians and or Trump supporters, whatever you want to call those guys, the major right, are like, wow, you guys are all sick and need help. Are they sick and need help? Probably. Is that the way to do it? No.
Oh,
that's why I got
you
mad.
Should know I'm abrasive.
That's why I got mad, is because I don't think you realized that you were attacking me, that like it felt like you were attacking me directly, because I don't think you realized that I actually like watch these people. Like I don't think you realized that. Did you know that I watched all these people and stuff, or no?
I did not. So I feel like that'd be all the more reason to have a conversation and talk and try and explain to me why you would.
But let's. All I'm saying is that because you didn't know, you basically said it very abrasive, like, and I took offense to it because that is who I am. Like you were literally.
If a crackhead's a crackhead, I'm calling him a crackhead. All right, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you are downtrodden and you decided to partake in hard drugs, and be like, man, you're a crackhead. You need to get it together. All right, and I'm not saying that to you. I'm just saying like, and then I'm gonna be like, I don't understand why you do crack, and they could be like, they could get mad at me all they want, but I'm still gonna be like, you're a crackhead, and like I love you even though you're a crackhead. And I don't think what you're doing is wrong if you can justify it to yourself. I'm just never going to understand where you're coming from. And so I understand I'm abrasive, but I've always been abrasive, and I thought you knew this.
Alright. I also don't think it's that wrong. Like, I think that it does...
I don't think that Twitch streaming is inherently wrong. I just don't understand it. And you guys are like, And then I was trying to say why I didn't understand it, and I came across very derogatory. But and then Jeremy was able to convince me, like, and help me partially understand it. but so far, no one was able to convince me, like, as why you would watch a larger stream, and like, I'm still unconvinced.
Well, how do I say this? The reason I watch larger streamers is because I do. I know them better than. I don't know. I know them about as well as I know like most of my acquaintances, if not better. I don't know them as close as I know my friends, but I know more about streamers than I know about most people. A couple of the streamers I watch, I know. I don't know. You name it, I know a lot of stuff about them.
I know a little bit about the streamers.
It's hard to say
but
exactly
I
why.
watch smaller streamers and I talk to them. So.
But I mean, you could ask me a question, and because I watch so much of their YouTube stuff, because they're great personalities, and I enjoy them, and I feel like I'm friends with them per se. I just choose to watch more and more of them because, do I feel like I have a chance at quote unquote real friendship with them? No. But I don't know. I don't know how much I really want real friendship. It's kind of hard to explain. Sometimes you don't want real friendship. It's a weird way of saying it, but it's kind of my view. I don't like having to put in a lot of effort with my friends. You should know that for sure. Me and you put in the least effort, and that's why we like each other. It's because we're excellent at putting in low effort, and we need low effort in order to survive. Like, that's why me and you get along so well together. It's because we're like some of the most low effort friends ever. You know? And so like, that's why I like streamers, is because they're low effort friends. Give me another. I don't know, like I said, if you want to call it that, you can. I personally feel it's not as bad as you're saying, but I understand why you would say it's bad, and I understand why. And I think that there are a lot of people that, how do you say this? Let me see if I can get a comparison. Because there's a lot of places like attract normal people, but they also attract a lot of drug addicts too, right? Like, they attract both.
Yeah, so like if I go, let's say I go to an EDM festival.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of saying it.
You have like all the normal people, but then you do have the crackheads. And if you're a crackhead at an EDM festival, I'm gonna be like, dude, you're a crackhead. And if there's like a good chunk of the EDM people that go there just because they know they can get drugs, I'm gonna like call them out for it. And so what I was calling out people who watch larger streamers for is I was like, I can't see a reason other than like some hollow sort of like social interaction and validation, which is like, I'm gonna call the people that go to EDM festivals, where there's a good chunk of people who are quote unquote normal. There's also a good quote chunk that are like just crackheads and like hooligans who like have like only go to them less for the music and more for like drugs, you know? And that's just like, I'm not gonna understand that, because like I'm not a crackhead. Just like I'm not gonna understand like watching some large streamer and pretending like I'm a part of their like community or their friend, because
well, hang on. How do you feel about people that are pretty good but are also just really good at like memes and entertainment, like, and they're really good live? Like, if you went to go see a what do you call those comedy people whose line it is anyway? People.
Ellie, okay, so Ellie, one time, I went to her two favorite YouTubers, which were literally just vloggers, had a live show where they came to, they just went on tour and just would dick around on stage and do random nonsense on stage. And Ellie and her friends thought it was the coolest thing because, like, they were gonna get to know them and it was a very personal thing, when in actuality, like, Dan and Phil aren't gonna remember Ellie or any of her friends. They're gonna like remember their tour, but they're not gonna remember like.
Yeah, they're not. No. And I agree with that.
And so like watching them live
and
was literally worse content than like.
I think that those people are kind of dumb.
That's what I'm saying, because like the live version is basically just that, but you stay on your couch.
So one of the things, like, I'd have to show you, But there's a guy that I watch, and literally, like, all he does is he does random things, right? Like, he has like streams that he does like with music, which is different because I think you would appreciate that because it's actually like music streams and stuff like that, where it's like debuting music. But he does this thing where he goes on Reddit and he like watches Reddit with his chat, and he just chats with him and like they chat about the Reddit and stuff. Do you think that that is wrong and or not fun? Because all he's doing is chatting with them. That's it. That's all. I mean,
doing. like I said with Jeremy, where if it's small enough and he's able to actually have a community.
There's a couple thousand to 5,000 people watching, maybe 500 people in the chat.
I mean, why not just watch it on a video later? It's like going to be the same exact content.
No, he doesn't make videos of that. It's just him chilling with friends, or just chilling by himself.
Well, why? Like, what's the difference? If you were to record it and make a video, what would be the difference between live and making a video? Other than that you can't access it on YouTube.
No, because you get to hang out and talk with him about it.
So he is going to interact and talk to you, so it falls into that smaller category.
Yeah, well, but I mean, he's not small in the slightest, though. So.
But if there's a chance of him talking to you, I think he'd qualify under that. Like,
oh, okay. Well, then.
But if it gets to a point where they're no longer going to interact with you, I don't understand why you wouldn't watch it later at your own time. And like, I'm not saying they even have to edit it, but like, what's the difference between watching it now as opposed to later? Do you feel?
Yeah, I do understand that. I think the biggest thing for me is, like I said, time. You can. I don't know. All right. Let's say it this way. I don't like reading very much, and I don't like watching scripted stuff a lot, right? And so I will watch streams, and then if they're available, I'll watch them streaming something, and then like when I'm at lunch or I'm sitting around waiting to do something, then I can watch the videos, if that makes sense. And hang on, I think maybe I also was taking this way too literally, because I don't think you realize how much I do other stuff while, like, it is a lot of background noise for me. I think I was being too easily offended, because a lot of times it is a lot of background noise, and it's really nice to have background noise. I hate music for that, because music, for me, I don't know how, I think it's different for you, but like, you know how I can't listen to music when I play games. You guys know that, right? Or Daniel, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, it really, like, that's why, like, every once in a while when I do it, you can tell, like, my gameplay suffers. Whereas if I'm listening to people talk and just random noise, I can do that all day and my productivity doesn't change. So I do think that is a big thing for me, and I think that a lot of people, like Phil, who if you were watching someone that was a bigger streamer, I would say that he's an idiot. That's why I was joking with you that he was a simp.
Yeah.
So I do agree.
What I'm trying to say is, like, if you do need that, like, what's the difference on a bigger streamer? What's the difference between just watching it later? You know, that's what
that's what I was saying is the white noise. That's what I was saying. I think that you're right. I think that I watch it because it's white noise, and that's why I enjoy it.
That's why I watch Jack and Markiplier mainly, is because it's just background noise and video policy.
And I watch YouTube much more than I watch streamers too.
Yeah, and so like that's what I'm trying to say is I don't like when it gets to a certain level, why not just watch a YouTube? That was like basically what my whole argument boiled down to.
I also think that I'm sorry,
I heard a rumor that shipment was removed. Did they bring it back again? Like,
I don't know, but I want to know how I got you. I want to know why I got 7 kills and didn't get a area.
I'm using the new.
Oh, I know why. I need 8 kills to get a Harrier. But I think you not necessarily underestimate, but people can get really big and still talk to their chat. That's one of the things that subs, you can switch your chat into sub-only mode, which means only the people that are subscribed to you can see, and so it lessens the amount of input you're getting, so you can actually talk to people. But like, there's a lot of talking that goes on. Like, I think you would have to watch a stream to understand how much they actually do interact with your audience.
I have.
Whoa.
I just saved your life somehow, but it was weird because
like,
I.
mega glitch.
Oh, that is funny too. I was wondering how that was. Because I like shot you through and I didn't kill you, and I was like, what the hell?
That guy's just laying on the ground with a shotgun.
He is. But, yeah, no, I really do agree with you in, like, some instances, but I don't think you've seen enough streams where they're really interacting with each other. Like, their thing. Because, like, so you're, like, Jacksepticeye, how many people watch his streams? Probably hundreds of thousands. If not tens of thousands. The vast majority of streamers are only getting thousands. If you're getting super thousands, it's because you're really good at the game. And I mean really good. Most of the time, the guys that I watch that are getting like 80 to 90,000, if not hundreds of thousands, are doing tournaments and they're winning. And at that point, you're talking about the difference between watching football and watching a COD tournament, you know.
Okay, so you know Jack or Mark and some other YouTuber recently came out with a YouTube channel. Where they're like, we're gonna like post stuff on this YouTube channel and like promote our merch and just kind of dick around, and there'll be a vlog. But this YouTube channel will disappear after a year and we'll delete all the videos. So it's kind of like a limited time YouTube channel. To be, because that's basically like what I was trying to say earlier too with live streaming, is like there's no reason to watch it now and then unless you're afraid you're gonna miss out on something. And like that's kind of what like Mark and what he's doing. It's like he's getting a ton more views than he has been, just because people are like, oh my gosh, this is the only time I'm gonna be able to see this. It's like a limited time, like I'm here in the moment experiencing this, and I'll be able to say I watched these videos. When, like,
I don't like that, and I think that's dumb.
Well, that's basically what Twitch is, just on a much larger scale.
No, like, well, sometimes, but you are, like, I think you are missing the interaction that does happen. Like I said, even with the larger streamers. I think you're only watching the streamers that don't interact with people, because they are big enough that they don't have to. And I think you're taking that and assuming that's everyone. I think you can legit have, like, I've seen these people that have legit conversations with a bunch of people while they're playing games, and they're just sitting there chatting and stuff like that.
But really, that again boils down to the people who are small enough to able to interact.
No, but I think I'm saying I think that you can do it when you're big too.
Alright, go have a conversation with Pokimane and tell me how that goes, man.
I don't know about Pokimane. I said Pokimane is a sim machine.
Alright, go have a conversation with Ninja, tell me how that goes, man.
Ninja is also what I said about, like, football.
Alright, go have a conversation with Markiplier and tell me how that goes.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you're taking these things. I don't think you're seeing the vast majority of streamers. I think you're seeing very limited cases.
Those are all the ones I know, and I don't know streaming that well. So
that's what I'm saying.
But
that's what I'm saying, is that I think if you saw other streamers,
those are the face of the Twitch community. So trying to say that they're not what Twitch is like a bit silly.
Oh, well.
Because when people think Twitch, those are the names that come to mind. Those are the people that come to mind. As me, as somebody who hasn't really watched Twitch,
you didn't know who Pokimane was.
Oh yeah, I did off of Snapchat.
I don't know. Oh wow, okay. Then.
Because Ninja and Pokimane are reaching like into other territories now, because they're getting so big. And so yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's why I have a thing against Twitch, is because that's the side of Twitch that I always see. And to me, that's nothing. That's empty nonsense. And I just might as well just watch it live.
Then I agree with you.
But that's like what I see. That's the name. Like when I think Twitch that's what I've seen. That's my experience with it.
All right, but then I agree with you. I said, if that's who you've seen, then I agree that it's atrocious. and I hate watching. I don't watch any of the people that you mentioned because one, they're not really fun. They don't have personality, in my opinion, and they're just there to entertain 12-year-olds and simps. So I agree with you.
I feel very.
No, I just said I agree with you.
I know.
I'm literally like I'm trying to say as like forcefully as possible that I actually agree with you on these points. I think that you haven't seen a lot of the like vast majority of good streamers, and so it changes your outlook as far as the whole interaction goes.